Hello everyone, I am Griffin and we are back with another reaction video. We are once again reacting to Isaac Butterfield. Honestly, one of my favorite YouTubers. This one is called Pregnant Men Take Over TikTok. Pregnant men, I swear to God. Before this video gets started, I'm going to say this. Men cannot become pregnant. Women and trans men can, because they are both biological women and they can become pregnant. But men cannot, and neither can trans women because they are both biological males, men. Yeah. We don't have uteruses or eggs, ovaries. We don't have the shit to be able to become pregnant. As a man, I can say this with full confidence and fact. I worry about our society, I really do. Let's get on with the video.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, pregnant men are the talk of the town, and I, for one, couldn't be more excited. Ooh yeah. Pregnant men do exist, and they are real men, right? And if you dare question it, guess what? You're on the wrong side of history. You bigot, you must be re-educated and change your opinion. You fascist. Thankfully, we have TikTok now to educate us about the real science, about real men pushing real babies out of their real manly holes. And in today's video, ladies and gents, we're going to look at what life is like for a man who is up the duff. These men are known as seahorse parents because male seahorses give birth. Well, the female seahorses lay eggs and then they stick them somewhere on a male seahorse and everyone spurts sperm somewhere. It's a whole process. They're actually really gross creatures. Anyway, seahorse parents are now a thing, which I learned from this gorgeous article from The Guardian. Difference is beautiful. Pregnant trans men go for a swim in pictures. Now this is...
Now, see, let's bring this back. Pregnant trans men. Now see, they put trans in front of men, which is correct. Pregnant trans men. It's not pregnant men. They did the right thing in this title. They said trans men.
And go for a swim in pictures. Now this is what I call not a challenging wank. Ladies and gentlemen, to TikTok we go.
Danny, why would you transition genders only to get pregnant and have a baby?
Welcome to the world of Danny, the pregnant dad, or Danny the trans dad, as he's known. Danny actually comes across as a very masculine human being, except for the fact that he has a vagina and pushed the baby out of it. Other than that, very masculine indeed.
This is one of the most commonly asked questions I receive.
There is something confronting about the image of a hairy man with a child inside of them. It's usually the other way around, and
It just looks like a man with a beer belly. He honestly just looks like a guy with a beer belly.
usually work for the church.
But the desire to have children doesn't discriminate based on your gender. When I was living in the world as female, I felt uncomfortable and unhappy.
I'm not gonna lie, he just looks like a fat dude. Sorry, mate. Or at least a dude who has 10 beers a night. And to Danny's point...
Like I said, a man with a beer belly.
I quote, the desire to have children doesn't discriminate based on your gender. Now, I'm not quite sure how to take that statement because I had a desire to have children and I had my little boy Atticus. But I didn't have a desire to have him. I had a desire to get my wife pregnant. And then she have him. Did I have a desire for a tiny child to grow inside of me and then I push that tiny child out of my dick?
Hell no.
And Addie, if you're watching this in the future, that's how you were born. You poor thing.
It wasn't until I transitioned genders that I finally became home in my body.
Danny feels home in his body, and that's great. But, spoiler alert, pregnant men aren't real. Sorry.
And what it's taught me is that I'm no more a woman today than I was before I had my baby. Having a uterus and using that uterus to carry a child doesn't make me a woman.
I've heard when it comes to birthing that I don't know if this is true. I've just heard it that it's easier on women to give birth in water. I don't know if it's correct me if I'm wrong. It's just what I've heard that people prefer giving birth in water, and I have no idea.
I'm sorry, Danny. I'm really sorry. I don't mean to be mean, but you having a uterus definitely makes you a woman. And yes, some women don't have uteruses, okay? Not all women have uteruses, but all uteruses belong to women, okay? I just find it strange that everyone in the comment section, and Danny as well, and everyone around him, they know that Danny is going to push this baby out of his vagina, but they still all agree that men can have babies. Danny, I'm not taking anything away from you. Men can't. Trans men can.
Yes, women birth babies, but so do trans men and non-binary people. We desire creating families.
Okay. He's right. Women and trans men. People are not going to like me when I say this. Non-binary does not exist. There would be less. The population would not be as much as it is right now if non-binary actually biologically existed. Because they would have neither a penis or vagina. They would not be able to have children because they would not have a penis and testicles, nor would they have a vagina, uterus, and ovaries. I'm sorry, non-binary doesn't biologically exist. It just doesn't. Hate me if you want for saying it. It's the facts. Be it if you want. All the power to you. But it doesn't exist.
Just as others do.
And I can cop that. That's cool. That's absolutely true. You just have to say trans men. If you say trans men, then I agree. Yes, trans men can have babies because they're transgender people. Men can't. Science won't allow it because there's a dick there. And yes, it is a nice thing to say that Danny, a man, can have a baby. That's all nice. But it's not scientifically accurate whatsoever. So don't argue with people on that because you're wrong. Danny's quite prolific on TikTok. He updates people about everything that he does, and he's let everyone know about his journey. It's quite interesting.
Danny, did pregnancy and birth cause you any gender dysphoria? This is another question I'm often asked.
I imagine it would because you're pushing a baby out of your vagina and you think you're a man. There would be moments where you go, hang on, what's all this?
And the truth is, no, not really. Now you see, some of you might be thinking that just confirms that I am a woman and confused, but it's actually quite the opposite. Once I was able to learn and internalize that gender is a construct and that our bodies don't equal our gender identities.
Ah, Danny, come on, big fella. Sex is biological, right? Gender's how you feel. That's everyone's point, yeah?
That's back in the day, gender and sex were the same thing. It was just a different way of saying it. There was male, female, and back then it was called hermaphrodite, not intersex. I don't know when it was changed from hermaphrodite to intersex, but there was man, woman, and hermaphrodite, which I think is like 1% of the population. I don't know. It's very low percentage, and it's very rare. But yeah, in the modern day, gender apparently is how you feel, but sex is biological, and biologically there are only two sexes.
Well, the reason people have issues with that is because, well, firstly, people in the LGBT community sometimes just go, I'm 1,000 different genders. I'm a different gender in the morning. I'm a different gender in the afternoon. What gender are you? Doesn't matter. It's all about me. So that throws people off. But someone's sex and their gender has been used interchangeably for years. So if you immediately expect people to go, yes, I agree with the new definition that you have created, then people are going to have issues with it. And that's just what it comes down to. You're changing the language. As for your identity, Danny, can I ask a question? Well, I'm going to. It's my video, fuck yeah. Do you, when you meet someone, just a random person on the street, you bump into them there with your big belly, do you care if they identify as a fan of a particular sports team? Like, is that what you want to initially know about that person? No, of course not. So why the fuck would you think that anyone gives a shit about what gender anyone identifies as? No one cares. No one. Don't take this video the wrong way. I wish Danny and his baby all the best. I just think we should stop lying and be scientifically accurate when we're talking about biology. I've heard these type of arguments.
I'd rather be scientifically accurate than politically accurate. Fuck political correctness. If you don't like what I'm saying, that is your own That's your problem, not mine. If you don't like that I am scientifically correct and not politically correct, and you get offended by it, well, then that's your problem, not mine. That's the thing. If you don't... I've heard this from a comedian. I can't remember who it was. But it was a tall, lanky dude, really long hair, and he was doing a stand-up at the Laugh Factory, but I can't remember what his name was. But basically what he was saying is, no matter what you say, you are inevitably going to offend somebody. If somebody's going to get offended, they're going to get offended. You have to risk offending somebody when you talk. At least nowadays, because everybody gets offended by every single little fucking thing because they're a fucking snowflake. See, for someone like me, the only type of words I don't like or don't care for, or just don't like hearing whatsoever, are racial words, like the N-word. I don't like people saying the N-word around me, or any variation of the N-word. I'm a little more tolerant of it when somebody of that word is of the... Okay, like if... It's gonna sound horrible. If a black person is saying the N-word, I'm a little more tolerant of it. I still don't like it. I don't. I really don't. I prefer nobody say it ever, because it is associated with a very bad time, and it's still a very racist word. But people are going to be offended by everything. Oh well. Harden up and grow the fuck up.
Arguments in real life before. A well-known Australian influencer that I know, she said to me, when I was talking about pregnant men and men can't get pregnant, she said to me, and I quote, "The science is changing." End quote.
No, it's not.
No, it's not. This is what happens when you join this woke cult. You are infected with a mind virus. This parasitic worm just drills into your fucking head and makes you say insane shit. Anyway, moving on.
When I was pregnant, I had to train every single person that I came into contact with.
He looks like every plumber I have ever met, ever. But this is important and why I refer to transgender people as what they identify as. Not only is it nice and it's polite, it's also, in this case, pretty accurate, right? He looks like a dude. So it'd be a bit weird if I called him a she.
Yeah, when it comes to this community, I will call somebody what they want to be called. If I run into somebody who's a biological male and they want me to call them a her, and vice versa, I will do that out of respect. Now, if you're going to be a complete dick about it, be a Karen, and go off on me and be disrespectful, then I'm going to refer to what you were born as, because you were being disrespectful to me first. That's how I go. If I show you respect and you show me disrespect, I'm going to go right back. But with this whole thing, like I said, if somebody is a he and they want me and they ask me nicely to refer to them as a her, I'm going to do that, and vice versa. That's the respectful and nice thing to do. As soon as I start acting like a dick about it, I'm gonna stop being nice about it.
Except when she has a baby, alright? Then we're sort of mixing things up there.
Every midwife, my obstetrician, the sonographers, the people at the desk, every time I rang up with a query about something, I'd have to explain that no, it actually is me that's pregnant.
Yeah, of course you have to. You didn't think people were going to automatically expect that you were the pregnant one? Dude!
I'm a pregnant trans man, and I'm 22 weeks pregnant. This is what my stomach is looking like.
As long as you say trans man, then it's absolutely good.
You look like some sort of... Honestly, you look like a hippie. Not to sound mean, but he looks like a hippie. With the hair, he's a tall, lanky dude. Call him a he. But yeah, it looked like a hippie.
Cool, it's fine, no worries. Let me know, ladies and gentlemen, if you agree with me or disagree with me in the comment section. And do you think that it's important to be nice, or should we always be accurate in the way we speak? I think sometimes it's important just to mix it up a little bit. And
I think when it comes to be scientifically accurate and being nice and respectful, I think it depends on the situation. If you're talking about the science and stuff, then it's better to be scientifically accurate than nice and respectful. If you're talking to individual people, I think it's better to be nice and respectful than scientifically accurate, because it's the nice and respectful thing to do. But when it comes to stuff like debates, it's better to be scientifically accurate, because, as people say, facts don't care about your feelings.
Be polite to people, particularly in real life. Okay, it's okay to criticize people on TikTok and shit because they're putting that shit out there into the internet ether. But I think in real life we would all try and be polite, right?
This is a pregnant man.
No, it's not a pregnant man. You goose.
They are female to male.
That is a pregnant trans man. Not a pregnant man, a pregnant trans man. We got to get that accurate. We got to get that right. Otherwise, because there are kids on TikTok, even though there really shouldn't be, but there are kids on TikTok. We don't want them to grow up confused and, scientifically wrong. We want to teach them right. And if you're gonna be online, be on TikTok and other shit like this, you gotta be actually accurate, scientifically accurate. This is a pregnant trans man. So we gotta be correct here.
When he went to the hospital and had his child, he was upset because many of the hospital staff was referring to him as the mother.
Probably because women have babies. Go on.
Some of you may say this is
when it comes to places like the hospital, and this is where a lot of people have a problem. Hospitals treat men and women differently because we are biologically built differently. So they have to know what you biologically are so they can treat you correctly, because if you have something wrong with you and you're a biological woman but you say you're a man, the way they treat you is fucking fruit fly, sorry. The way they treat you is more than likely not going to be the correct way to treat you, because you are a biological woman and not a biological man. We are built biologically different, so therefore they have to treat us differently. This is why, another reason why we have to be scientifically accurate and not nice and respectful is when it comes to medical stuff. They have to treat you right, or your life could be in danger, something could go wrong, and everything like that, and everything in between. So they have to know your biological sex. You may not like it, but it has to be done so they can treat you correctly.
What's the problem with that? He is biologically the mother.
Correct. I would say that.
And while that is true, here's why it's disrespectful. He goes by male pronouns and is a male. Yes, he did just have a child, which is something that traditionally a mother does.
I take issue with your air quotes around mother there. I really do. Not to mention your use of the word traditionally.
Which is something that traditionally a mother does.
It is not a tradition in the same way that eating with your mouth is not a tradition. It is how it is done. But yeah, the mother in air quotes, what the fuck are you doing there? Like, what is that?
But he is a man. He is the father.
He identifies as a man. He believes he is a man. That makes him a trans man.
When you're referring to him and you're talking straight to him, why would you give him mother?
Because he pushed a baby out of her vagina. Go on.
Knowing that that's traditionally a woman when he's identifying as a man. Your mind should automatically say father.
Once again, we're talking about science and medicine here, so you have to be accurate. This isn't a psychologist's office. This is pregnancy we're talking about. And all of these trans dudes that are saying that they're pregnant men, they know they're women. They do. Like, they know, all right? So They fucking know, and I don't know why they expect everyone else to try and save them on it. Like, just accept it and move on.
Yeah, like I said, all these trans men, they know they're biological women. The thing a lot of this woke community has to get through their thick ass fucking skulls, they all need a slap upside the head, is that it's fine if you want to tell the medical, it's fine if you want to tell the doctors and the medical community that you identify as a male. That's fine. I think they are perfectly fine with that. I believe they are. The thing is for them to treat you correctly so that you can stay healthy and the child you are going to birth is healthy. You have to let them know that you are a biological female so they can get you the correct medicine, the correct treatment, so they can treat you correctly along with the child. Because if they do not, they are not going to be able to give you the correct treatment so that you could stay healthy and so that child could stay healthy that's inside you. You have this community has, they have this like block in their brain that they can't just, they don't get it. It's fine. It is okay. We don't care what you want to identify as, especially the medical community. They do not care what you identify as. What they care about is you tell them what you biologically are so they can treat you correctly and so that you can leave the hospital healthier than you arrived. You have to get this through your thick fucking skull. Let's continue. Sorry. I'm sorry. I just, this woke community just, I don't understand why they can't get this information through their thick skull.
We did it! We did it! We did it! Yay! Oishima! We did it!
Honestly, I did not expect which one was gonna be the pregnant woman. He looks like a male so well. It's really good.
How beautiful. Another Pride Month miracle. I say give them another month. They need another month. But remember, these are all real human beings.
When it comes to the trans men, it is so amazing just how much of a male they look like, and you will not be able to tell that they were a female unless they tell you. It is amazing how some of these people, when they transition, you cannot tell that they were once a female unless you see the scars and stuff. But it really is amazing how far science and medicine has come.
And they are valid and they are important, and that, well, they're not important. All right? No one's important. Get over yourselves. No one. But, they matter. They do matter. They have done nothing wrong, and it is important for us to be nice in public. We can think about whatever we want to think about to ourselves, but we be nice and we say, yeah, man, congrats, good work. But when they reply and they argue and they say, I'm a man and I can have a baby, then you go, no, idiot. No, you're not. Male vaginas aren't a thing. And also, I have some questions. Is it safe to take testosterone replacement therapy when you are having a baby? Is it safe to be pumping yourself full of exogenous hormones whilst you're growing a fetus inside of you?
That's probably not good. I'm saying probably because I have no fucking idea. I know almost next to nothing about the medical world. But I don't think that's probably good to take a lot of these chemicals while you're pregnant.
I would assume that that's not great. I mean, it obviously would affect your estrogen levels and your progesterone levels, the pregnancy hormone. Surely. According to the UK's NHS, it's possible to get pregnant if you're taking testosterone, but it's not recommended. So how many of these people were taking testosterone whilst they got pregnant? That's interesting. This may affect the baby during pregnancy. Things like birth weight, amongst other complications, are the fear here. So, here is the wrap-up of this video. Here are the cliff notes. Ladies and gentlemen, can men get pregnant? No. Can trans men? Yes. Why? Because when you remove the politeness of the world, they are women. And should we be polite? Sure. Should doctors? No. And I worry when doctors have to be polite, like they're forced.
When it comes to medical stuff and when it comes to treating you when you're sick or something's wrong, I'm sorry, but doctors should not have to be polite. One iota. They should not have to be polite at fucking all. They need to be scientifically accurate to make sure they are correctly treating their patients. Politeness can go out the fucking window. There is one There is one old doctor. I think he's a Latino, but there's this one doctor who don't give no shits. The video, I think a lot of you people probably know that you've seen it on TikTok or probably YouTube Shorts. This 600-pound lady was in this doctor's office, and she says, "I'm a picky eater." The doctor, who don't give no shit, says, "You're not a picky eater when you're 600 pounds." More doctors need to be straight, honest, no shit at all like him. They need to be like him, who don't give no shit, who is honest to a fault. More doctors need to be like that. They do. I'm sorry. Their politeness has no reason to be in the medical field at all.
Forced into being polite and nice all the time, because things like this happen. A doctor did a hysterectomy on a trans woman, removing the uterus and ovaries. Turns out she was pregnant. They didn't do a pregnancy test, which is usually done. Maybe this was done because the doctor was trying to be nice and polite. That's fucked up. Was this done because they identified as a man and there's no way that a male could be pregnant? Fuck. I don't know. It's full on. Ladies and gentlemen, in closing, men can't get pregnant. Trans men can. Good work, everybody. Push those babies out of your dicks and have a great day. Be a good motherfucker. Peace in the Middle East. Be dick stinks. Toodle, blah, blah, blah.
Oh, Isaac Butterfield, I love you, man. You're a great dude. Well, I hope you all enjoyed the video. I hope you all are more scientifically accurate than not. If there are any other videos you'd like to see me react to, please make sure to comment them down below, and I will get to them as soon as I can. I have a streaming channel over on Twitch that I stream to Tuesdays through Saturdays. Please make sure to go check that out. Give me a follow over there. I do have other social medias like Twitter and TikTok and all that stuff. Links to all those will be in the description below. I hope you have a wonderful day, and I will see you all in the next video. Bye-bye.